Wow. When there's nothing else to give, you give respect.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because
I have nothing to give you. You don't want anything that I have. So the one thing I could give you is respect. Words.
Welcome to ancient wisdom.
Slowing down the pace and adding some emphasis.
Emphasis.
We do not need to become that which we are not. Gather your thoughts. Become one with the frequency which you are familiar. Be thine self. Appropriate and accommodate for all things, because things will happen. And as they do, we may roll with the punches. We have Evan joining us on set. Evan, it's good to see you.
Thank you, long drive.
My. The top down, the wind in your hair. Is there anything sweeter? I've only ever walked out of one thing in my life that I paid money for. Bruno.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys did say that.
And it broke my heart that day. I'll tell you what, I paid $12.50 for that ticket.
Yeah.
And I just let it go.
That was a good choice.
I had to let it go, man. Some things in this life, I get it, man. It's hard sometimes. You know, you hold on for so long, and you have so many dreams. You have so many thoughts about the future, about the taste, about the smell. Love will be accomplished. One day I'll own that house. One day the mortgage will be affordable at a rate that I don't need mortgage insurance. God damn it.
Keep dreaming.
But sometimes you gotta take your losses. Cut it where it hurts the most. Deep, right here. And say, I'm walking out of this theater. And God damn it, you could keep my $12.50. Because I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, you just got to live your life, man.
I've grown.
That's it, man. I didn't realize that you could pick your seat now like an airplane.
No. I think you got it all wrong. You have to pick your seat.
I'm sorry. You must pick your seat.
You must!
And I specifically remember because the guy was very upset with me that I'd never done this before. I was like, what? Why do you got to press the button on the chart? It felt like, yeah, exactly.
Oh, explain
Boomer.
this to 800 fucking boomers this week. God!
Yeah, I felt this pain. I was like, all right, man, I get it.
Fucking incel doesn't get out of the house. Jeez. Fucking piece of God. Yeah, 2B. That's right. 2B. Yeah, good one. 2B or not to be. Yeah, that's your seat. Go ahead. Yeah.
The writing has seemed to just kill the movie experience.
I'll tell you why they do that, because no one goes to the theater anymore. So, like, at least we can sell one ticket online.
Right. I always get black when my voice is deeper. I can't just do a regular white guy. Hey.
But I would argue that
yeah, you gotta be
if
a
the
little
movies
southern.
were a little better, then people would still be going to the theaters in droves.
Now, that is a fine assessment, I would say. I do declare. Yeah, movies are just shit in general, for sure. But, you have to adapt to what is. And maybe we're living in this market where movies are shit. Maybe they've just accepted shit movies.
Yeah, because that's your mindset before going to theater. You're like, all right, it's probably not going to be a good...
It's a different experience because all movies are shit. You have to adapt.
Yeah, it's like, do I really want to pay an extra $30 for popcorn and soda with a terrible movie too?
That's why restaurants are dying too, because you're not going to pay $60 for a bottle of wine at the table that costs, $12.99. Yeah, the fucking grocery store. Because we're filming a movie this year, and I says, are movies just in general? Has everyone accepted that movies equals shit?
Whoa.
Movie equals dime a dozen. Movie equals the 20th century.
It takes a lot to convince me to watch a movie nowadays.
Oh,
even if it's one I haven't
deep.
seen. Like, I'll watch one that I have seen tens of times over a new one.
Man, what is that then? Because I imagine everyone in the 80s, the new movie's coming out this weekend. You got everybody in class to go see.
Because it was something you never saw before. It was like an idea that was never like,
Yeah.
going back to the future. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
You can't go-
multifaceted, right? Because you couldn't just get it on your laptop. Nowadays, people are getting it anyway
Yeah,
for
what?
free, even if it's from some download site from Dubai or something like that, and it has tons of fake advertisements taking up half the screen and the movie shit. You'd still rather do that than pay $22.50 now.
I feel like you just have to ask a moviegoer and figure out the trends nowadays because they're still going. Is there something in them that they can't explain that has turned them off from movies?
That sounds accurate.
Ryan would know the answer to this one.
We must ask our movie expert. Ryan, would you come in here?
But you fired him.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
that's right.
Do you think this is a little bit of FOMO? The main one was the Marvel franchise. You watched all the Spider-Man. You watched all the Iron Man. You watched even the Black Widow because Scarlett Johansson has a nice butt. But you must continue to watch out of what? Obligation? Commitment? Or is it merely FOMO? I ask you now.
The fear of...
Comment. Fear of missing out for all those boomers out there. It's something that you've started and you must now finish. You know that it's all shit, but you've made the commitment. You remember what it's like in the early thousands watching Spider-Man for the first time. And you said, wow, man, that's amazing.
But now it's different.
Spider-Man was amazing the first time I saw it.
I agree. But yeah, what's that
Something has
luster?
changed.
That luster is gone.
What is that shining light at the end of the tunnel?
You know what I think? A lot of it has to do with like how new the stuff looked. Maybe it was burned into our mind.
How new it looked. I like that. I like that we're
Now
coming
it's
back to
not
that.
new looking, right?
Right.
You were like, oh, whoa, Spider-Man is shooting webs and flying through a city. I've never seen a movie like this. Now that's every Marvel movie. Like that's all CGI is a flying camera. You don't know if the building is a train or a bus or what. It's so fast.
That's very interesting because in this modern time, we have seen it all before.
It's
It could be
three
war. It could be a
Yeah.
dead child. It could be this and that. Yeah. All right. Sure. Marvel movie. The only thing that's good in movies anymore is the graphics. Is the CGI.
They probably put most
is
of the budget
costumes.
into that.
Maybe because they know it's the best.
It's the best part, I guess. Maybe the actual
They know that's
artists
all
on
that's left.
set. The artists on set are like, that's all I really have to work on is the visuals.
Yeah,
know?
because they accept that movies are shit. Wow, these are great questions.
But Spider-Man's been done 4 times too with so many different actors, so it's new, but it's an old concept. Like the first Spider-Man in the early 2000s already had that wow factor. It already created that awe in the audience because it was something never seen before on the big screen. And then they just do it 3 more times. I don't
fear
understand it.
everything is economics, right? Like Indiana Jones comes out, you're like, man, that's hot. And then you get attached to it because that's hot, so you keep watching these movies. And then by the time there's 50,000 of these movies out, you've seen them 50,000 times. You've seen it done time and time again, 3 times, 4 times with the Spider-Man. It loses its value. It's supply and demand. It's simple economics. There's too much of it, so it's not valuable. Maybe movies in general. But Evan might make the argument, all right, but what about good movies? And I ask it again. Do good movies even exist? Are they even the purpose of making movies in 2024, the year that we are now in?
I'll say the movies I've enjoyed the most recently have been older ones between the 70s and 90s.
Yeah, baby.
But there wasn't a lot going on. It was a very
70s
simple
and
story. There was a beginning, middle, and end, all wrapped up in under an hour and a half.
And you still liked it?
Yeah. I would plug it, but I don't know. I mean, could I?
Yeah, I guess so.
It was First Blood with Sylvester Stallone. He was just like a Vietnam vet who washed up in this
Man.
Central American.
I saw that one.
That's the first
really
Rambo
good.
thing, right? First Blood?
I think it was after Rambo, right? That's like the timeline. Because I didn't actually see the Rambos. Embarrassing.
I don't know which order it is in, but I remember that one, Evan. It's a good one.
I
Yeah.
think that's like what they called the first Rambo before they started calling the movies Rambo, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
could be. But I just know that he showed up in this town, and the sheriff, it was a very small, quiet town. He just wasn't welcoming him. He's like, he noticed him as never having been there before. He's like, you gotta
drifter.
get out of here. You
Stay out of my
drifter.
town.
He's like, can I just go get something to eat? He's like, yeah, there's a cafe 30 miles from here. So then he drove him
What a
30
dick.
miles
Wow.
out of town and said, go on.
Go on, get it.
Eat. Yeah, exactly. But then he's just like, you should have left me alone, man. All I wanted was to eat. And he just stayed and ended up killing 2 cops because they were trying to kill him, and they're corrupt
Wow.
with power in this town
Great
of like
movie.
five police officers. Sorry for
So,
the spoiler, but it was a great
We're
movie.
in agreement that you liked this movie,
Yep.
and this movie is old.
Yep.
This movie can be defined as good
Yes.
in that
It
context.
can.
And now I cannot define movies as good. Those are the only facts we got here, folks. That's the only facts we got here. That's all we're working with. So that is very interesting. But the movie that you liked that was old was also simple. It was basics. It was the beginning of a genre. Is it because it was the beginning of the genre? Because you've seen all the tropes before. We know all the lines. Was it extra enticing because you knew that that's where all of the tropes came from? Or is it bigger than that?
There was so little dialogue, you actually didn't even hear the
Really?
tropes.
Oh,
Like, it
wow.
was a
Mostly
very-
visual?
Yeah, it was a very silent, rugged type of film where it was just all you could see it in the acting in their eyes.
You know what?
much.
I got a new theory. It's about life experience. That's what art is, y'all. You do a lot. George Orwell, he traveled the world. He like went homeless in all these different areas just so he got the experience to write books, because you need it. Inspiration. Anybody who's an artist who knows inspiration. There's no inspiration if you never leave the same room, if you never get off your internet. And I think that's a huge part of why writing is shit now. Look at how delusional we are. Look at all the psychoses. Men think they're women. Like, what is going on here? We've lost the plot. We don't know each other. We don't know ourselves. And you get shitty games like Borderlands, who are written like a nerd who never left his basement, imagining what it's like to have met someone cool. It's the cringiest thing you could ever imagine. Some of the worst writing I've ever seen.
That's a really good point. Yeah, how can you write about a Borderlands type of experience if you've never been in that scenario?
They
ever?
didn't even
That's
have
amazing.
anyone to base it on. Like,
Right.
you know, even if you don't got a lot of experience, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of like Biff from high school. I'm doing the Back to the Future, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he was a tough guy. No, they didn't even know that guy. They had never left their house.
You should have just did the strong silent type maybe and kept it at that and limited the dialogue as much as possible.
That's what made me think the Rambo thing. That's what made me think about it. It's just like, guess who else did that? Gendy Tistapaka, blah, blah, blah. The writer of Samurai Jack, you might know him. Yes. Funny how you understand now.
Because I don't understand that foreign name.
Yeah, dude. If you guys remember, 90% of that was visual.
There was
He said
there were no
nothing.
lines.
There
in
was
Samurai
no
Jack.
lines. Yeah,
He would
There was
say like,
grunts at
okay or
best.
no.
There were like 3
Yeah, if
characters
that,
that
right?
talked.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
were
for
4
real.
characters that talked.
There's like a British dog person. From
Yeah,
the
it was like a
future.
random
And that's it.
Scottish man.
Half of
He
it
had
was
the
him
most
just
lines in the whole series.
half of it was him just walking into a room and making eye contact with people in a bad
Yeah.
neighborhood.
And they both understood. He
Yeah,
turns around.
exactly. Gotta say, affirmative action. People who are given jobs when they don't deserve it and don't have like a resume of cool stuff already.
It's not a movie, it's a message they're making. They're not making
Oh,
movies.
well, I
Oh,
like
true.
it.
Yep.
That's very true. And okay, so I like that, Poach. I'm going to incorporate yours with mine, right? It's a message. They definitely want to put it. They're definitely getting big money to push it. But I think that also ties in to the social psychosis. I think that's all part and parcel of the mass human psychosis that's going on right now, and it stems from the lack of experience. We write, like, what's a good example? Like you think there's some badass bitch, I'm gonna go back to Borderlands or something like that, because it was so terrible. They did have all the tropes. Oh, the black guy. They've never met a black person in their life, but they wrote a black guy. They never talked to a hot badass chick in their life, but they wrote a hot badass chick. They wrote like this battle hardened soldier who's angry alcoholic, and they never met one in their life. And yet they still write these characters. It doesn't come across. You can't do it. You have no life experience. You have social psychosis. And because of that, you end up using that medium to push your narrative, to push the agenda. And you get extra money to do just that.
So I think people back then focused on adventure and the experience first, and left the message or the moral up to the viewer.
Now it's very clear.
But now it's message first.
Damn!
With no experience. It's just like, here's my
Baby,
message.
what you talking about is one word. It's got 3 letters. It's called art.
Very clear.
Art! The shitty artists explain their work. The good artist, it speaks for itself. Art is in the eye of the beholder. And if the message is too clear, I like that. If the message is too clear, you don't even respect your audience. I'll put it that way. You don't even respect the person to make their own decision. You're calling them retarded, and you're telling them. In fact, you're shoving it in their face.
Dude, maybe that's the only way to entertain upcoming generations. Maybe.
Oh, man, I hate this.
Maybe they just can't
Dang.
perceive the art that you remember
Bro,
as art.
this is a crazy theme today, but yeah.
Because you said don't tell them what the message is. How are they
Right.
going to know the message then, Mitch?
We don't
if
tell
we don't
them.
just tell them.
See, maybe I'm coming here from like, don't patronize me. You know, I could come with the message, but what if that's what a shitty movie? We come back to the theme of today's show. Is a movie shit? By definition, in 2024, do we have to tell them what the message is? Because otherwise they will not know? Wow.
Well,
that's a scary thought, but it's probably not too far from reality.
I might argue that we're at the beginning of another climb to a peak of good entertainment.
Oh, how so?
I think it must come in waves, because you're only going to get good entertainment after just a slew
much
of
like
bad entertainment.
societal collapse.
Right, exactly.
We must allow it to burn to a cinder.
Only then will you get amazing music and art if you're starving for art, you know?
It's tough. I am inclined. I mean, I know it's true, but my pessimistic brain says I'm inclined to disagree, in the sense that experiences might just keep getting less and less real until AI take over.
Right.
And we stop fucking because we're fucking all the AIs. There's no more babies, and say goodbye to humanity. AI is going to be, talk about the future of America. AI is going to be running America in 50 years. Humans are dead. We ain't reproducing. But if by some miracle we do, my heart says, and as history says, the art will come back, because it's the backdrop, the foreground and the backdrop. If the backdrop is shit, the beauty will come. What is dung? Shit. What is plant? It comes from that shit. It sprouts. It needs it to grow.
We're in the dark ages of art, is what we're in right now.
Man, the
And then
dark
in the
ages of
50s,
art.
Elvis, and the 60s and the 70s. You had great music until the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And then 90s was just like, what's going on here?
Wow.
But rap took over and we filled the void.
Yeah, and rap is just like not even music. It's like just a thing on its own.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh
feel
my
that
God,
way?
it's not even music.
It's not
Oh
even
my
music.
gosh.
Like, I'm not even being a boomer mom right now. That rap music, that black music is not music.
I guess you could say it's true, because it's really just rhythm. There's no
Right.
melody.
You
There's no melody.
Yeah, you got to feel the rhythm.
Rhythm and blues almost got there.
Whoa, they were close.
there was some blues.
They still had some blues.
But it should be called rhythm and melody. That's how you make music.
Yeah.
Not
Whoa.
rhythm and blues.
It degraded. It was music, rhythm and melody, rhythm and blues, rhythm. And then rap is down here. It's just rhythm.
There's nowhere to go with just rhythm.
Yeah.
You're going to be stuck at rhythm forever until someone just...
Yeah.
We need a melody.
We need a fucking melody, dude. Yeah.
Rap is dead.
Rap is like a trance. Like rhythm is just melody. The first beat is just when someone realized this is different from this. And they're like, oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
And someone came along. Oh! And someone came along. No, 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 no.
But then they got rid of the melody and the blues.
Yep. And then they killed it all. And then they went backwards in time to where it all started.
I think we just proved rap isn't music.
They killed Jesus. They wanted him dead. They wanted him to speak no more. Pontius Pilate was the only person that spoke on his behalf. The last person you'd expect. It's the
Wow.
greatest story of all time. Y'all really want me to kill this guy who's done nothing wrong? Not only do we want you to kill him, give us Barabbas too. Instead, give us a murderer and a pedophile, killing everybody, ruining society, and you could take Jesus. And in fact, no, don't lock him up, don't kill him. Kill him in the most brutal public way possible. Fuck him up. Make an example of him. Anybody who understands that story understands the First Amendment and that we need to let people speak and we need to hear what they have to say. And anybody who doesn't let you hear that is watching Hollywood movies from 2024. They want to shove the message down your throat because you're too dumb to understand it.
Wow, I've never heard the story of Jesus's crucifixion tied to the First Amendment like that.
Oh!
And I do think that is pretty... I don't even know the emotion that you would have for Pontius Pilate in that scenario. Because that's not talked about enough. That he's a really important character in that whole story, how he... It's almost like he was powerless just because of the masses in front of him.
He was
Very
trying to
hot
let. I
take.
think he was trying to let Jesus walk.
He was.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was trying to do
he was the
everything.
one guy arguing for Jesus,
Yeah.
as far as the records show. He was the one guy, and he was the last dude you would expect. Oh my God, he was the Roman governor there.
It's weird.
He only had to answer to Herod in the region.
I think they would have mobbed him and like killed him if Pontius Pilate did not go along with it. But the interesting thing is they wouldn't have killed Jesus themselves. So I think that's
Very interesting.
it reveals a lot of cowardice on their part.
Well, let's bring it to India.
Oh, India, my friend. Oh, what do we got? The
Men used to build
Taj
these.
Mahal.
Men used to build these for women, and now we split the bills.
Oh my God. Yeah, so this is a woman complaining here, talking about, I guess this was made by some Hindu Marga Ding Dong. And he made it for his wife, Sandra Gupta III. And now women are complaining in 2024
That she can't have a Taj Mahal palace.
that she can't even have a Taj Mahal palace that her man made. You know how many slaves built that bitch? I thought you hated slavery.
In some cases, the projects weren't done until the king had been dead for
Yeah.
50
Look
years.
at that. Zoom in, like not you, folks. But like,
I was ready.
But seriously, that's a serious fucking structure. And you know, bitch, I think you know that.
Like, isn't that true? Like some of the pyramids, even like they weren't built in the name of the king until like 50 years after they died or something like that.
Dude, that just says this guy was a simp to me. I'm sorry. What do you guys take from this? Like, oh, I built it for my wife. I love her very much. Oh my God.
He was an opportunist and wanted to make it anyways, but he said, yeah, it's for my wife.
Maybe he died, and that's what she said after he died.
Could be.
Oh, well.
I could very well see that
I've
happening.
heard, wow. My
built it
husband
for
loved
me.
me so much, he built this for me. I thought he said
Oh,
he
it
built
was
it
for you? Oh,
that
my God.
hooker.
Did you
Yeah.
hear that, Farnoosh?
Farnoosh, you must hear this. Come. You think someone's gonna build that for you? You've had sex with 14 dudes. Like, what are you talking about? You're not special. Everybody out here is exactly like you. Oh, you're a little pretty? Take off the makeup. Like, sorry, you're not getting a Taj Mahal in 2024. We can barely get good movies. And, you know, we need slaves to build that. So the choice is yours. All right. Well, you don't need any text.
Okay.
It's not important as this picture right here. Guys, don't be trusting these women. Woo-wee! Let's take a poll right now, and I want you guys to comment at home too. Should makeup be outlawed? Yo, is this not deception? Is this not publicly endorsed deception?
It's just like Halloween every day, man. It's getting
Halloween
crazy.
every day. You know, wow. Yeah,
so
facts,
much makeup. How long does that take? I don't know how long this takes. That probably takes like 3 hours,
God.
right?
Yeah, yo,
Maybe more.
you ever date one of those glamorous bitches? You can't go out.
Looks like
you're
she-
not even hungry anymore by the time you're ready to go out. That took like 3.5 hours.
Looks like she put in hair plugs too.
Oh yeah, the extensions or
forehead.
whatever. Yeah.
And I see more sadness in her eyes on the right picture than on the left, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
Definitely it's reminiscent of the 1,000 cock stare, right?
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm ready to get it. And I know it. We got the 1,000 cock stare, it's called.
Is that in the Dow?
Chapter 22, the 1,000 cock stare. Watch out for conniving women.
look at the height of the chin. That's a big tell.
Oh, ooh.
Dang.
We're getting deep.
more
That's a hot
proud.
take.
More proud. Like
Yes.
this.
You
It's
know,
like-
down here, she's still being cute. She's innocent. She hasn't seen it all.
Dude, the chin. I never noticed that till now.
That's
Because
a
it looks like she
good
actually has a chin on the
Hot
left.
take. And now it's like, I deserve to be here. Everybody wants me. Everybody wants me. And it's like, girl, you don't even realize what your attraction is. What is going on with that? What is going on with that right now? Women don't even know. They're so dumb that they don't even know why it is they are attractive to men. They don't even know because they're too busy trying to be men.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? It's to a man who's already logical, it seems so simple. You gotta be a peaceful, supportive, preferably good-looking woman.
Rap culture.
Ideally, chaste.
Dude.
To be chaste.
I got it. It really is rap culture because, like, when I see men that portray the same thing, they wear like rainbow color Air Jordans.
Oh,
I
man.
was like, why are you trying to look pretty
Wow.
like a woman?
Yeah, they are.
That's not what they
opposizing.
find attractive.
They opposizing, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know
Do you
what
have
you're
the opposite
saying.
size of this?
Yo,
They
that nigga
opposizing
be opposizing, you know what I'm
the
saying?
interests.
Shit.
Talk about opposite.
Men shouldn't be having 30 pairs of Jordan shoes in mint condition with rainbow
that's
colors.
very feminine, especially like college. Why do you need so much stuff? We already know that women hold all the credit card debt because they can't be happy without stuff and experiences. Like now, guys want to be that too. It's very strange. Dudes want to be pretty, girls want to be bosses. Stop.
Stop it.
Just stop. Poach, what do we got?
This is going to elaborate on what you just said.
Oh, this one was my favorite. I think I was saving this for last. So we got two parties here, right? What are they called, Poach? Number one is
The incels.
the incels. Click on that picture if you would. Look at these guys.
Those incels.
Look at those incels, dude. Dressed all nice, smiling, having a good
Showing
time.
peace.
Showing peace and love to their fellow man. One dude's coyly hiding. He looks a little gay, but you know,
He's
whatever.
hiding behind
We'll
his
keep him to the
iPad.
side. That's why he's not in the group hug, because nobody really likes him. You know, they're mostly Asian, so they're quiet by nature. They're sort of to themselves. Maybe play a little more video games than they should, but they've got a good heart.
Can you not see your brother, a father,
Could you not see
in those men right there?
yourself in those men?
Yes, yourself.
Can you
Even.
not look within to see that you are one of them? And
Y'all
there
the-
was no stigma to be attached, because those who attach stigma to this group are in our next picture. What is this group called, Poach?
The incel tears?
The Incel Tears group.
Like cry for them or at
They
them?
hate incels.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's
they
their
just-
mortal enemy.
Yes, I understand.
Oh
I just
my
wasn't
God.
sure about the tears part. Like,
You incels are lame. No one wants to fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah.
The beautiful women aren't even making fun of the incels.
Yeah, these are the people that are talking online. The
What a
beautiful women
shame.
don't care because they're out there living their lives too.
Wait, is that one dude at the right?
It looks
There's
like
one
it,
guy?
bro.
He's the guy that
Wow.
agrees with everything.
You know why he's not an incel? He's fucking all of them.
Oh man,
He's fucking that transgender right next to him.
he's into it.
To each their own.
Do each their own out in this world. You like fatties? Go for it, man. I personally am one of sanity. I will not be doing that. In fact, I will be shaming you. Because you could do better, frankly. And if you like life like you say you do, you're going to die a lot quicker from that coronary infection, from that fat cell blocking your arteries,
Lice.
from falling down the stairs, from not being able to reach your head because your fat arm is in the way.
We got a video.
Oh, I love videos.
I don't know what this is.
They entertaining. Oh, okay, guys. So I wanted to know if you are like me. I want
She's
to
getting
know
robbed.
what you would do in this scenario if you were these two
Jesus. They're
European
just
guys in
standing
the
there?
background.
Oh my god.
I don't know exactly what's going on. We never
Jefe,
know.
llama a la policía.
Policía. Well, I know
Is
what
this
that
Italy?
means. Somewhere, it
Italy.
looks somewhere European anyway. And yeah, two guys are just watching, and we always forget. There's one guy filming at least. Everyone always forgets about the filmer too. So there's three people doing not doing
What is
shit.
going
right
on?
here.
They're like, I'm gonna give this video to the police when they show up.
Yeah.
They seem too old to not intervene. You know what I mean? I feel
Oh,
like
Yeah.
not
hot
intervening
take.
is a younger guy thing because we've seen all this stuff on the internet, like, oh, man saves
Jefe,
woman
llama
from
la policía.
drowning and gets sued.
Right,
You know,
right,
like,
right.
Stuff like that.
Wow.
The
Okay.
ridiculous scenarios like, oh, woman
Hot.
stopped robbery on subway, but she cried like sexual assault from the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who saved her or something.
Oh
like
no,
that.
no. One dude, yeah, he saved her, and then he's like, "Well, I wish you wouldn't have used a gun."
That's
Yeah, yeah. I wish
something
you wouldn't do threaten something so violent. It's like, I saved you, bitch, didn't I?
Oh my god.
I saved you. That was a real story.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't-
did you really have to pull a gun? That was scary. That was what a real. She even said that. That's what a real hero would do.
They say that.
Save
Like,
it. Save
they
it
do say
without
Spider-Man.
violence.
Yeah, like
what are you gonna
Spider-Man.
do? Oh yeah, he'll web the gun right out of his hand and be like, "Yeah, don't do it again, buddy. Stop it." But it could have been a lover's quarrel. Maybe it's none of my business, but it's increasingly becoming nothing is any of my business because you get in more trouble for intervening. Sorry, y'all. You wanted this world.
You just step up and just say, "Hey, man."
Hey, pal.
You could start with, "Hey, man." Just an
What's
aggressive-
going on over there?
Just, yeah, just anything. Just anything.
That's what the
Are you
cameraman.
okay?
Sometimes just a
camera-
little.
Policia?
Sometimes a little verbal is all it takes. You know,
Yeah,
just stand
true.
up and be like, "Hey, man."
Even hey man,
Just
even if
anything.
you're 30 feet away on the next. Hey, hey, are you good?
Something.
No,
Something.
good. Oh,
They might have intervened if they saw like violence, because I guess now that I'm thinking about it, they were really.
what
only-
is violence, Evan? How do you define violence? Because that was looking a little violent to me.
I want to explain it to you.
Her shirt was practically ripped off in public. All right.
All right. Well,
She had been disrobed.
Let me
And of
define.
course, unfortunately, it was disrobed right off of screen. All right, I would have enjoyed it a little more had it been visual.
Is this
a
your
little
White Knight-
visual
White Knight
stimulus.
character?
But I would have totally jumped in if I was there. I mean, I gotta say. Hey!
That's pretty brave in modern times.
That's pretty brave.
Yeah.
You-
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have done that.
hey!
At least try.
Oh, God, he's coming.
But no, you just film it.
Yeah. And say, Polizia?
Yeah, right.
Polizia?
yeah, with some koi swimming nearby.
Mitch translates the Tao, chapter 21. The measure of virtue is allowance of it. Only obey the Tao. The Tao acts as a thing. Only abstract only obscure. Within its abstraction lies the form. Within its obscurity lies the thing. Within the quiet, elegant, deepest darkness lies the essence. Its essence is truth within the logos, the self of present and of old, nameless and experienced by few. How do I know that few have experienced it? Because of this. Man, what do y'all think? What are your first impressions?
It's hard to tell if anything happens in this DAO at all.
It's hard to be sure
if anything transpired.
Anything transpired. Anything at all.
He's definitely thinking about some future events.
About something.
There's anxiety about a decision.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah,
feeling
that's
some
what I'm trying to say,
anxiety
yeah.
about a decision.
It's
I
trying to
like
help
that.
you with anxiety about a decision. That's what I'm getting from this.
Okay, what makes you feel that way?
Well, because it's kind of setting you up to consider reality, where the essence is truth of self and present and old. And then it's very abstract. I guess this is like what I'm getting out of it. How do I know that few have experienced it? Because of this. The thing you haven't done yet, the experience. Like it's looking right in front of you.
Oh, man.
The experience is in front of you. How do I know? Because it's right here. You know, like you're about to do it in this DAO kind of thing.
Shit, I like that. Of course, my mind always goes naturally to just like the cyclical nature of that. You're looking at it and the mind sort of interprets it, but you're really just looking at it because of this. All of this thought, all of this depth because of this. I'm doing it because I'm doing it is something maybe
Well, you're
I would
not doing
say.
it because of this.
Oh?
Right? Like it's saying how do I know that few have experienced it? Because of this. It's like the confusion.
Oh.
Because of this. Like it's a question. Like
Also like non-dual, like it
Right.
cancels each other out. So it's not this and it's not this. Oh, that's pretty cool.
it could be jumping
because-
too deep into it. What do
No,
you
I
think,
like
Mitch?
that. That's pretty cool, man. Any thoughts, Evan, off the bat?
Earlier, you were talking about the Garden of Eden and the forbidden fruit.
Yes.
I forget which example you were applying it to, but this one again makes me just synonymously use the word Tao with God, because
Sure.
with the line, within its abstraction lies the form, within its obscurity lies the thing. I couldn't help but think of how perfect the Garden of Eden was for Adam and Eve until they went after the obscure thing, as opposed to just leaving it alone as obscure.
Yes.
But instead, they needed to control the obscurity, so they fell out of the experience
Oh,
with the
man.
Tao,
Super cool.
because they stopped living in the present, in the obscurity of it all. They wanted it all, so they lost it all.
I want it all, I lost it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Wow, those guys knew something, man. What they talking about? The Bible? Hot damn, those Bible thumping Linkin Parks.
Hot piano riffs.
Oh my! That I really like that, and I think people tend to forget that it is the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. The indecision is born. Should I be good? Should I be evil? What's the right choice? Am I this? Am I that? Who am I? Oh my God, I'm naked. They were freaked out because they were naked. And as Poach pointed out, how do I know? Because of this. It's already here. I said the word faith, right? And of course, it's sort of about this divine guidance, and I used the term animal brain earlier. I've been meditating on that this week. The drive to just do something. And of course, but it can't fully be animal brain to a certain degree, because then we'd end up with like debauchery in the streets.
Right, a conscious animal brain. Because that other line there, within the quiet, elegant, deepest darkness lies the essence. And that's scary because as someone who has delved into meditation or like sitting quietly, I could see what he might mean.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone like 3000 BC ancient Chinese into my consciousness.
That's a heavy burden. Let me tell you.
I could not even imagine or fathom the essence of the elegant, deepest darkness because it sounds scary to probably most people.
For sure.
But I could see that he's trying to tell me it's actually bliss.
Yeah. Okay, I
But-
like that
But
take.
I'll just never. But few will ever know that bliss
Right. Few have experienced
because deep,
it.
dark, elegant darkness just sounds terrifying.
I guess so, right? From a certain perspective. Wow, that's funny. I guess that's true. Maybe if you tell the average person, am I right, guys? Quiet, elegant, dark. Like these are bad words. Right.
Elegant darkness. That
Dark.
does not mix.
I like elegant, but those other words are not cool. Those words are scary. But no, I wrote down this phrase as you were speaking. It's there already. And what that means to me is like the God, the Tao. It's already there. It's the essence of faith. And within the quiet, elegant, deepest darkness, it's already there. Something is already there, whatever you want to define it, that you just have to come in contact with, that you just have to be one with. If there is only one, as all the psychedelic freaks talks about, and maybe that's pointing at the Tao in a way. But I like the fact that it's there already, like God's here already. And that's such a deep thought to have to hold in your brain, to have to discover. And it is one that possibly breaks the brain. Me and Poj were talking about how Moses was the only one in the Bible to look God in the face. Well, not the face. To see God. He saw his back like through his hands like this. He's like, God, is that you? And he was glowing. He was just shining all the way down the mountain.
But what's so confusing, it kills me. It says only obey the Tao, but then right after it says the Tao acts as a thing, only abstract, only obscure.
It only acts as a thing.
Say that again?
It only acts as a thing. That's how I see it.
Oh, okay. But what about only abstract, only obscure?
It is only abstract, only obscure.
So how do you obey that if it's abstract, and obscure?
Oh, isn't that the question? Maybe
Right.
there's no answers in this Tao, but yeah, it acts as a thing because I see that because the word thing comes from the word think, which is the brain. We think it into existence, it becomes a thing. And to the perspective, from the standpoint of the brain through thought, it is only abstract and obscure.
Whoa.
Because that's where the definition comes from.
Wow, that's all it can be.
All it can be. That's why I wrote down this word too, like how we think things are known. It's using the brain. And I wrote the word multi-dimensional. Like we're not even seeing it from the right perspective. Anyone who's thought about, I'm sure Poach knows this, multi-dimensional thought. It cannot be held in the brain. Perhaps it could be experienced. Perhaps it could be simulated. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
But it cannot be experienced through this. And that's why many have said the heart is more emblematic of the spiritual center. The kokoro is right here. It's kind of the heart-mind symbiosis. In Chinese, it's shin.
It just makes me think how much people confuse words or misinterpret words, like the I Love Incels poster. If they could just replace that word incels
Hot take.
with
yes.
humans, human men, you know what I mean? Just like people. That's all an incel is, just another
Yeah.
person.
JLP, do you love white people? Like, what is stopping us from just saying that we love other people? Like, we can love, like, it's okay. Culture, I guess. Culture is stopping this thought. Thought is culture. And it is contagious. Much like a disease, this excess of thought, this excess of status to show off, to deceive someone else. We're living in a culture of pure deception. There's no one of the heart anymore. We've forgotten about the pure nature of the Tao, the essence. And I chose the word logos here because it comes from the Greek word. And it also could be translated as something that is spoken, from the ancient Chinese, something that is said or even like a name, but its essence is truth. It is here. It's what you can say factually. We'd have to define truth, but it is among us as we speak. Within the logos. Now, what is the logos? Now, that's sort of the Christian terminology. Like I said, the Greek for word, but that's in the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the word. So they're talking about the same concept.
Yeah, I was just going to say love. You kind of convinced me that logos meant love after talking.
I could see that, right?
Past minute or so.
It's almost like in the sense of true connection, truth. Its essence is truth. We are connected. We connect with words. That's how we can do it. It can be and will be misinterpreted, but it's really our only conduit.
And I think we've bastardized the word love.
Oh, for sure.
In recent history.
Maybe the greatest of all.
Yeah, because just saying I love incels or, I love white people or I love black people, that people see the word love as like, oh my God, I love these fries.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Everyone thinks Chris Farley in their head when they think of love.
But it's more than that. It's like pedestalizing what you're loving. It's like, I don't have to pedestalize incels to love them.
It's almost like as soon as you say you love something, everybody automatically interprets your hate profile.
Oh, that's a hot
Whoa.
take too. I like that a lot.
They
If
think
you
I
love
love the
something,
opposite.
you have to hate something else.
All the opposites of that.
Right.
Culturally.
Whoa,
yeah,
that's deep.
it's definitely
deep,
true
man.
with the JLP example, because if they're afraid if they say they love white people, that means they hate somebody else.
Wow, that's exactly.
Wow.
It's all
That's
inversion.
That's the psychology of it.
Yeah, it's sad.
They always say, "Oh well, I don't want people to use this out of context." Then your love was never real.
Wow,
bitch.
everything's such a lie.
Your love was never real, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about culture. I'm sorry for what it's become. If I played any role in it, I apologize. But guys, we're trying to get back to the truth. We're trying to get back to the roots. I think about grace often. Will it ever come? Will it ever come for the majority rather than the select few prophets? The world may never know. But join us as we dig deeper next time on Ancient Wisdom.